Welcome back to the Brewers franchise here at MLB 15, the show. This is episode 3, and before we hop into a game against the Chicago Cubs, we're going to recap the month that we simmed in between opening day against the Rockies and the game we're going to be playing in today's episode against the Chicago Cubs. So first things first, the Brewers are currently sitting at an even 12-12, 500 on the season, definitely better than expected. As far as their bats go, Scooter Gennett is by far the hottest one. They do have a platoons going on all over the place. He's a part of it. But Scooter Gennett currently in 20 games played has a .389 average, a .421 OBP. His OPS is over 1,000. He has 3 home runs and 7 RBIs through the first month of the season. So pretty darn good if you ask me. Move things over to Ryan Braun, who mainly hits in the 4-hole. He's hitting .282 with 4 home runs, which leads the team. He's tied with one man who we'll go over next. 14 RBI, who he's 1 game behind, which is Adam Lind, who's hitting .292 with 4 home runs, tied for the lead with Braun. And then 15 RBI, which is 1 more than Braun. Well, Jonathan Lucroy is hitting .338 with 1 home run and 9 RBI with a .447 OBP. Flip things over to the pitching side of things, and the starting pitchers go like this. Matt Garza has 5 games started. He's 2-2 with a 3.30 ERA. Kyle Loesch, 5 games started. He's 3-1 with a 2.41 ERA. Willie Peralta, 5 games started, 1-4 with a 7.88 ERA. Really struggled, really got rocked around in the month of April. Hopefully he can turn that around, or eventually he might lose his spot. Same with Jimmy Nelson. He has 5 games started, 1-3 in the season, 6.18 ERA. And it would be a shame if Peralta and Nelson continue to pitch poorly because they're both big potentials, they're both young, so they both can get better, and they both could be vital parts to this team in the future. But if they do not pitch well, they could drop down to C potentials, and that would pretty much eliminate them being parts of the series in the future. While Taylor Jungmann, his A potential, is doing well. He's got 4 games started. He's 3-1 with a 1.45 ERA. Sub-2 is pretty darn good, you ask me, and he even has 2 complete games. Well, in the bullpen, they have 3 guys who all have sub-1 ERAs, and that is Blazic in the setup spot, Jim Henderson in the main middle relief spot, and then K-Rod as the closer, who doesn't even give up a run. He has 5 games, 5 appearances, 5 saves. Some of the transactions that happened leading up in the episode are we signed Jeff Niemann to be a long reliever and then starter if needed be. He's like a 78 overall starting pitcher. So like I said, he's a long reliever right now because Tyler Thornburg was struggling in that long reliever spot. He was sent to AAA. Jeff Niemann takes his spot, and whoever continues to struggle in the starting spot, or if they don't calm down, we need someone to go back in the starting spot, we'll move that struggling starter into the long relief role, and then we'll move Niemann into the starting pitcher spot that takes over for that guy. Logan Schaefer, the backup center fielder and really 4th outfielder type player on our team, is not playing well. He's got a 190 average, a 292 OBP in 12 games, so he was sent down to AAA, and to take his place is a man who was raking in AAA. 17 games AAA, Shane Peterson. He's hitting .373, a .455 OBP. He's got 4 home runs, 16 RBI. He was called up to the MLB, and he's going to be taking part in a platoon in center field. And that platoon goes like this. So against right-handed starting pitchers, it is Gene Segura at short, second base Scooter Gennett, right fielder Ryan Braun, first base Adam Lind, catcher Jonathan Lucroy, left field Chris Davis, center field Shane Peterson, third base Alberto Callaspo, and then the 9-hole, of course, is the pitcher. And then against left-handed pitchers, it's Segura, Baker at second, catching Lucroy in the 3-hole, 4-hole is Braun, 5-hole is Chris Davis, 6th hole is first baseman Ludwig, 7th hole is Domingo Santana playing center field, and then 8th hole is once again Alberto Callaspo, 9th hole is the pitcher hole, of course. Another thing we've been thinking about doing is Martin Baldonado could possibly be sent down to AAA. He's great defensively, but he can't hit, and he's not very good. He's got 6 games played. He only has 1 home run, 3 RBI. He's hitting .214 with a .267 OBP. Not exactly what you want from a player at all, really. And what they have been looking at doing is calling up a guy named Robinson Diaz from the AAA team. He's a 31-year-old catcher. He's a 65 overall D potential, but he does have 70 contact both ways, 83 vision, so that could definitely help out as a bat off the bench for this Brewers team. He just needs to prove that he can hit more down in AAA before they want to call him up. The 12-12 Milwaukee Brewers start off the month of May, traveling to the Windy City for an NL Central foe to take on the 14-10 Chicago Cubs at Wrigley. So Kyle Hendricks gets the nod for the Chicago Cubs from manager Joe Maddon. He's 1-0 in 4 games started with a 3.75 ERA. He'll start things off, 2 outs, top of the first, as Ryan Braun connects with one down the left field line. Will it stay fair? Yes, it is. Off the foul pole, Ryan Braun's team-leading 5th home run of the season. He takes the lead from Adam Lind, but Adam Lind says, I don't really like that stat, so he puts his number 5 on the board as well. Dead center field, or more left center field, correction. And that's straight out of the ballpark as Adam Lind connects on his 5th of the season as well, and it's now a 2-0 Brewers lead heading into the bottom of the 2nd inning as Taylor Jungmann gets the nod for the Brewers. He's 3-1 in 4 starts with a sub-2 ERA. Runner on first, Kyle Schwarber ground ball to shortstop. Segura fires a second. Jeanette fires the first. That's a 6-4-3 double play executed to perfection. And now we head to the top of the 3rd as Gene Segura comes to the plate for the Brewers, and he connects with one to dead left field, deep left field, correction, and he makes it a 3-0 Brewers lead as his first home run of the season. So head to the top of the 4th now, still 3-0 as Shane Peterson rips a double over the head of Soler in right field. I guess you could say the Soler got in his eyes as that's Shane Peterson's first career major league hit. And now we head to the bottom half of the 4th as it's still 3-0 and Chris Bryant strikes out on a Jungmann pitch. Later on in the inning, Kyle Schwarber, he goes down on the outside curveball, looking, nicks the outside half, and Jason Mott enters the ballgame for the Cubs now. In the top half of the 6th, Adam Lind at the plate, and he rips one into left center field, beats the shift that'll roll up against the wall, and Adam Lind has himself a stands-up double here in the top half of the 6th, and to lead it off, a ground ball will get him over to 3rd, and then a line drive to deep right field to Soler, as Lind is going to try to tag and score, a risky move, but he gets there as the throw is offline. So it's now a 4-0 Brewers lead. Corey Niebold comes in for the 12th time this season. He has a sub-1 ERA. But that ERA is rocketing up here. Runners on 2nd and 3rd. And Segura flips to 2nd, forgets what the outs are, forgets who's on what base, and a runner comes in to score. It makes it a 4-1 ball game now. As we skip ahead to the bottom half of the 9th, runner on 1st and 2nd, a little bit of a jam, but 2 outs. Ground ball to Segura. This time he flips to the correct bag, and that is your final out of the ball game, as that is how the cookie crumbles here in the Windy City as the Milwaukee Brewers start off this month 13-12, and the Chicago Cubs drop to 14-11. Player of the game is the starting pitchers for the Brew Crew. Taylor Jungmann went 6 innings strong, only gave up 3 hits and struck out 7. He improves to 4-1 on the season, while Kyle Hendricks, the opposing pitcher, is now evened out at 1-1. K-Rod gets his 6th save of the season. Adam Lind went 2 for 4 with a home run, a double, RBI, and 2 runs, while Ryan Braun went 1 for 4 with a home run and RBI. Segura 1 for 4 with a home run and an RBI. Shane Peterson got his first career hit on a double back in the top half of the 4th. While on the Cubs side of things, it was really only Soler and Castro who did anything. 2 for 4 for Soler. Castro was 1 for 1 with an RBI, which was on that bonehead play from Gene Segura in this Brewers 4-1 victory over their arch rival, the Chicago Cubs. And with that being said, that'll wrap things up here for this edition of Brewers Baseball. I have been your host, Jerseyborn, and I'm saying goodbye.
Now 2 young kids might start a ruckus. You know they feel you're trying to shuck us.